Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick here, and welcome to my spoiler-free review and thoughts on Alien Romulus, which opens up in theaters later this week. So Alien Romulus is directed by Fede Alvarez, it stars Kaylee Spaney, and is set between the original two Alien films. Now this movie is following a group of scavengers living on a dying planet that want to break into a derelict ship to escape their current living situation. There's 6 main characters, but like I mentioned, the main standouts in this movie are Rain and Andy, played by Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson respectively. Rain is an orphan who has a damaged android brother, Andy, and because of their poor living situation on the colony Jackson's Star, they have to try and take care of each other as best they can. Rain longs to leave their planet and finally see a sunrise, since the dense atmosphere surrounding their planet leaves it shrouded in darkness year-round. Now eventually during the film, they pick up a signal from the floating Renaissance space station and hatch a plan to board it and steal equipment, with the goal to leave the system. When they board the station, however, they encounter the remains of a top-secret Weyland-Yutani research site and the deadliest creature in the galaxy. So that's where the film basically takes off, and that's the main storyline here, and the other characters are Bjorn, Tyler, and Kay, all played by Spike Fern, Archie Renault, and Isabella Merced. So as for my positives with this film, I knew a lot about it going into it. I was privy to a lot of spoilers. There was obviously some test screenings that happened, so a lot of it leaked out from that, and I had made videos previously talking about a lot of aspects of this film. But I wanted to see how it would be executed. Obviously, you can read spoilers online about a movie, you can read about early plot leaks and stuff, but to see it is another thing, and how it's executed on film. So overall, my positives are that this movie, above all else, goes back to the roots and feeling of the first 2 entries in the Alien franchise. You can tell that Fede Alvarez is a huge fanboy and loves this universe. The character of Andy, however, is especially interesting because we see him go through various changes throughout the film, mainly after they've actually boarded the space station, and David Johnson does a terrific job as the new android. I also appreciated the practical effects and the use of them for all of the creatures in this movie, for the most part, because the xenomorphs and facehuggers look really great in this, especially towards the end. There's a sequence where they're going through a hive, which has been seen in the trailers, and the xenomorphs look really cool in that environment. The third act has a bit of a twist and really swings for the fences. It's something that's unexpected, and that's where I personally felt that Fede brought the most of his own personal touch to the film. It was definitely one of the highlights for me, just to see something new introduced to the Alien universe. Now, as for my negatives about the film, unfortunately, besides Rain and Andy, the rest of the main cast is fairly forgettable and kind of generic in terms of their overall character. They only are there really to serve as fodder for the xenomorphs and the facehuggers. Another thing that I was surprised by is how this movie isn't really as scary as I was hoping it would be, considering Fede's track record. I think the film relies a bit too much on retreading of themes and nostalgia from the previous movies, but I guess it's probably because the last 2 Alien prequels had very mixed reception, so the studio might have wanted a more safe movie, something familiar, something the fans could get behind, akin to something like, The Force Awakens or Jurassic World, where it's more of a soft reboot, retreading themes of the previous movies, but also having kind of new elements in there sprinkled about. Finally, my last complaint about the film is that I was hoping that it would expand more on the overall universe. Something I love about the Alien movies and each of their subsequent entries is they kind of, expand upon the overall universe of Alien, and they introduce new ideas, new things about the lore that you didn't know about, and I was really hoping that this movie would give us some new context to what Weyland-Yutani was up to between the first and second Alien films, and it really only briefly touches upon that. The movie also has some interesting connections to Ridley Scott's Alien prequels, Prometheus and Covenant, but I'll get more on that in the spoiler review that I have going up this weekend. Overall, the movie is a return to form that I think most fans will enjoy. I was just personally wanting something more from this movie. it's definitely a movie that I want to rewatch, you know, as soon as I can to pick up on Easter eggs or things that I missed, and I really hope that the home release has some more deleted scenes, you know, footage, extended stuff like that, and a commentary track with Fede Alvarez and maybe his co-writer, or some other bonus features that the Alien franchise has been known for, like a big extensive making of documentary. You know, there hasn't been too much of stuff like that. I think after Prometheus, they stopped doing stuff. So, you know, with Alien Covenant, we got a commentary track, some deleted scenes, and a making of documentary that was like 40 minutes long. But with Prometheus, we got like a huge, extensive 4-hour documentary, you know, going over every aspect of the development of the film. And I really hope that, you know, we get some kind of documentary talking about the making of this movie, because that's something that I'd be personally interested to see. Especially, I'd love to hear about Ridley Scott talking about the development of Romulus and if he's gearing up to do another Alien movie himself. So if you guys got a chance to see Alien Romulus, let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below. Personally, I know I'm kind of mixed on the movie. There was a lot of stuff that I liked about it, but there was some negatives that I had about it. You know, the characters are kind of generic apart from the main characters. The storyline wasn't as extensive as I was hoping for. It kind of treads a little bit too much on the line of nostalgia and going back to that feeling of the original movies, while not really going so far as to make a unique movie on its own. I think it's really in that third act. You know, a lot of people keep bringing up this in reactions I saw too, that third act where it kind of jumps the shark and goes in a new direction with the franchise. That's where I thought that it actually had something new to say about the Alien franchise, but sadly a lot of the movie is just kind of, you know, going over the same stuff that we've seen in the original movies, which again, you know, that's cool to see. I love seeing the pulse rifle, I love seeing a xenomorph hive and stuff like that. I was just kind of wanting a bit more, you know, more exploration about the lore of the franchise, more about Weyland-Yutani, since we're going to be seeing the characters board this Renaissance station and trying to explore it and figure out maybe questions about what was happening in the intervening 50 years between Alien and Aliens. Like I said, it's really only a scene or two where they talk about what's going on this Renaissance station, so I just would have liked a bit more of that personally, you know, from a fanboy perspective, to see, you know, more questions about the Alien universe answered. But like I said, share your thoughts below. What did you guys think of the film? What did you guys think about, you know, my qualms with it? Did you like the movie? Did you not like it? I'm certainly going to have a lot to talk about in my spoilers review, because like I said, you know, a lot of stuff happens in that third act, and there's also other stuff that I mentioned too earlier, how it has ties to the prequel movies and some other little Easter eggs and nuggets in there connecting to the bigger universe, which I don't want to spoiler in this review. So if you guys are new to the channel and you like this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. If you want to hit me up on social media to talk about this movie or anything really, you can find me in the links down below. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.